my name is Eric Havener. I teach Advanced Manufacturing Systems 1 and 2. I've been a teacher for 23, 24 years. I got into teaching right out of college, taught for 3 years at South Spencer High School. At that point, I went to a small company that they built in Rockport called AK Steel. Rockport Works. I was a production, I was actually a supervisor and worked various other jobs while I was there for 3 years. After that, I was a production manager at a small company in Jasper that made wood components for the furniture industry. And then I decided to get back into education and taught at Central for 7 years, and then taught at New Tech Institute for 10 years. That's when this job came open, and so I've always wanted to teach something geared more towards industrial maintenance or advanced manufacturing. So this seemed to be a good opportunity. This is my first year at the Career Center. So that's all about me. This is the classroom area. This is where we'll start. We teach about the first 2 weeks we'll spend in here. We'll actually teach basic safety, and then we'll teach the basics about industrial maintenance, industrial electricity or electricity theory, Ohm's law, stuff like that. Later on, we actually will do like 1 day a week in here. We do print reading, and then we still go over electricity, electronics. We get into PLCs or programmable logic controllers, motor controls. We do computer numeric controls. We get into a lot of industrial topics, robotics, stuff like that. Usually we try to keep it fairly low in the classroom. This is a more hands-on class. I'd say we probably spend at least 75 to 80% of our time in the lab doing hands-on work. Okay, so we'll go to the lab and I'll show you what we typically work on. So the front part of the lab is where we'll spend most of our time, especially the first year. As you can see, we've got a lot of robots set up. That's typically beginning of the second year. The first year we spend a lot of time working on, we have modules set up. I've got a gear ratio module here. We work on gear ratios. I've got a PLC controller here, small PLC controller that we work on. Once we get to that PLC module, we've got modules for motor controls. We've got modules for all kinds of different stuff. We also have, right now we have 8 Yaskawa Motoman robots, which are the gray robots, and 4 Fanuc robots. These are all very nice, heavy-duty industrial robots. These are not toys, they're actual robots. They're programmed just like the robots are in industry. So by the time they're done with this, their senior year, we offer 2 dual credits in this class. One is over Introduction to Electricity through Ivy Tech. The other one is Automation and Robotics in the Industry, which is also through Ivy Tech. So once they get done with this, they will receive dual credits, and they'll be able to program this just like anybody would in industry. We have computers around. These are used for the PLCs. So we'll work with those for a little while. The first thing they do whenever you're a freshman is we have actually suitcase trainers that we do electricity and electronics. We go through all the electricity, electronics, and that leads into control systems and control logic, ladder logic, stuff like that. And that leads into the PLCs and the motor controls and all that kind of stuff. If we head back here a little bit, another thing we do the first year is we teach the basic principles of machining metal. So we have 3 metal lathes, 3 metal mills. I've got a horizontal metal bandsaw and a vertical metal bandsaw. They'll learn how to use all this machinery. They'll learn the basics of machining. They won't by any means be an expert at machining, but they will learn the basics. Off to the side here, we have some plastic machines. We're actually looking at the possibility of getting rid of some of them. We're going to keep the small one here. We're more interested in teaching industrial maintenance as a whole rather than specific for just the plastics industry. So we're going to keep this one and teach some plastics, but we're trying to get rid of some of the other and bring in more CNC type equipment. We have a CNC router that we're hoping to get in here next year, and a CNC mill that's next door that we're hoping to get in here next year. So, but we will teach the basics of plastics, how to do a mold change, the basic maintenance of that machine, stuff like that. So we've got a couple of small trainers here. These are some projects that the kids have made. Just different types of games, stuff like that, that they've made in the past, using the controls and control methods that we teach. We've got an Anatol Mechatronics Trainer and a Hydraulics Trainer. This is a Hydraulics Trainer. Mechatronics Trainer is here, so that'll teach mechanical systems as it applies to motors, different drive systems, stuff like that. And then this teaches the basics of hydraulics. We have some modules that teach pneumatics as well. So a student that typically would leave this class would go into industrial maintenance. We try to send multiple kids every year to the TMMI AMT program through Vincennes University. That's a huge, fantastic program for kids. Those kids can earn very good money, go to a 2-year degree, and be skilled maintenance at Toyota when they leave. We're working on an agreement with the millwrights so that these kids that come out of here will actually have credit when they go into the millwright program, so they won't have to do it quite as long as an internship or apprenticeship as what they normally would have done. So hopefully that'll work out. But anybody leaving this program should be able to work maintenance most places in Evansville with just an apprenticeship or a 2-year program added as well. So I think this is a great program. I think it's a great school. Please apply. Thank you very much.